Good evening, parents. My name is Dr. Madrigal. I'm the principal here at Cortez. I'd like to welcome you back to our back to school night, which we will be presenting on some ideas for you to be able to work with your kids. So, some of the things that we'll be talking about will be Zooming and classroom expectations. Along with this is going to be associated supporting ways that you can support your child during distance learning. We will be going over district assessments as well as how we are implementing PBIS here at school. One of the big things that we do a lot is focus on our PBIS expectations. And these are applied right now currently to Zoom because that's where children are having their classrooms. So the first thing we always look at are making wise decisions. Within this, one of the big things that we really focus on is having your child be able to listen and be respectful when the teacher is talking. We highly recommend that they have their computers on mute so that when if there's noises going on in the background or there's something going on, the kids are listening. And then when they need to speak, they always take off the mute. For our little ones, we do recommend that you practice with them because this is a skill that does have to be applied to the classroom. And for our older ones, it's just remembering to turn off the mute or turn it back on when they're talking. Sometimes, we're talking and no one's listening because we have it on mute. For our second, act responsibly. One of the big things that we do ask is that kids start looking at their schedules just so they know what time they're starting at. I know there was confusion at the beginning of the year, but as the year has gone on, it's gotten a little bit smoother. The other thing that we highly recommend is that your kids have a quiet learning space. So what we recommend is that you give them a desk, a table, a place where they can have some quiet, and there isn't a lot of work going on in the background, people moving, people talking. The other thing that we also ask is that you dress appropriately for your Zoom meetings. And not just the child, but please remember that if, as a parent, if you pass in the background, just make sure that you're dressed appropriately too, because we want to make sure that everybody that's coming on screen is appropriately dressed. The big thing for little ones is not wearing pajamas, just making sure that we're not in pajamas. When we're doing work, not on the bed. We have had that happen where kids are laying in bed and they fall asleep again. The other thing that we're looking at is also providing respect to each other. So listening when others are speaking, especially the teacher, being on time to your Zoom meeting, because those are things that teachers will comment or remind parents about. Staying seated in Zoom meeting. And the other thing that the other one that's come up lately is also staying for the duration of the time, not leaving early. If you get bumped out, that's different. Just log back in and then sitting properly, not bouncing around, just being attentive towards teacher. We also look at inspiring kindness. So when we chat on our text during our Zoom, saying kind things, being nice and polite to each other, avoiding distracting others during the Zoom sessions. And the last one always is cooperating with others. And this is using kind and respectful words when we talk and we communicate, participating when the teacher is asking questions, also respecting other students and understanding that if others are working on a task, you need to be attentive towards your task so others can't get distracted. There are different assessments that we use within our district. We have different programs based on the grade level, and we'll be going over those so that you understand what assessments will apply towards what grades. There's a couple of reasons that we do these initial assessments, and usually they're considered diagnostics because they give us an idea of what information we need to know. Kind of like a little overview of where your child is for us to have an accuracy. So teachers know where to start with your child and what they might need to provide to be able to catch them up or either give them enrichment if that's something that's necessary. It's a way for us to measure learning loss. Did they lose any learning during the summer? Are there gaps in their learning? It also helps us identify students that may need more intervention or maybe they need acceleration, which are those kids that might be a gate child. And it covers different areas. So we'll be covering reading and math for these areas as well. For kindergarten, we have two different programs. One is called the ESGI and the other one is called the Benchmark Education Program. So one of them is focused on basics, which are colors, shapes, pre-reading skills, being able to do numbers. The other one is going to be focused more on reading and writing, not writing, just reading, vocabulary, letters, sight words, readiness to read. These are skills. And in kindergarten, it is going to be more of a one-to-one assessment, which will be given either by the teacher or by a tutor. These are assessments that will be done one-to-one throughout the year. Maybe towards the end of the year, it might become more independent, but at the beginning, it's always considered one-to-one. There's different purposes behind these assessments. So one of the things is that these assessments are mostly given only to kinders, the ESGI in particular. It is, like I said, done one-to-one, and then they focus on different skills. Some of them might overlap, but a lot of them tend to be different skills. For first grade through second grade, we do have different assessments that we provide for your children. We have the DORA. which is there's one aspect of it called the DORA language for Let's Go Learn, and the second part for Let's Go Learn is also a math diagnostic called ADAM. These also encompass different skills. One of them is going to be for early literacy, phonics, sight words, and vocabulary, and then the DORA ADAM the Let's Go Learn Adam is going to be more on numbers, on understanding place value, solving simple equations. And based on where your child is, it might take them a little bit longer, it might take them a little bit less to complete this assessment. The other part of it is going to be the benchmark advanced, which is found in the middle section. This one is going to be looking at vocabulary, letters, sight words, and then are they ready to read? Are they at that point yet? So each of the programs will be focusing on different assessments. So like I said, DORA is more of phonics and foundational skills. ADAM is more foundational skills for math, just for us to give us an idea of where they're at. And then the benchmark advanced diagnostic gives us more of a readiness for reading and then vocabulary to give us an idea if they're where they are and if they're ready for basic skills in reading and writing. For third through fifth, we have the Achieve 3000 level set, which is a little bit different from the DORA. For this one, it's more of a comprehension check because at this point, we realize that kids are reading. One of the things that I did explain earlier in the Spanish version as well was that Achieve 3000 starts at third grade. If your child is advanced, whether they're at second or first grade, the teacher can recommend for them to take the assessments at that point. But they are not assessed in first and second grade. It does start at third grade, unless the teacher makes a recommendation because the child is very advanced, then we can start them on that. But those assessments will not count against your child. For benchmark, same assessment. We focus on the skills for the kids. And then we also have for the Let's Go Learn, we have the ADAM mathematics as well. So there's different assessments that we take for third through fifth grade. As I mentioned earlier, we have the Achieve 3000 that focuses on comprehension and gives us an lexile to give us an idea how your child is doing. We have the ADAM assessment, which looks at different foundational skills in math to see where they are grade-wise. And then we also have the benchmark advanced diagnostic, which also provides for us an idea of where your child's going to be in vocabulary and reading comprehension. And so we're looking at different aspects. And this is, again, for third through fifth grade. For sixth through eighth grade, we are using two of the assessments, not the benchmark, because that benchmark goes only up to fifth grade. We have the Achieve 3000 and we have the ADAM mathematics. Each of these, one is more comprehension and the other one is more math foundational skills, same as the other grades. Also looking at comprehension, and we look at foundational skills and math just to see. At this point, once they get to sixth to eighth grade, the assessment may take longer than it would take for a younger child, just because they have more skills, they have more knowledge, and they may take them a little bit longer to finish these assessments. One of the other things that we are continuing that we had last year that we actually worked out very well for us is that we had a Google Classroom called the Cortez Student Corner. This is something we will be inviting all of your children to participate. This is only for students of Cortez. But within that, what we do is we post weekly spirit. We do a virtual spirit week. So what we do is that we have like spirit days where we wear our Cortez shirts. We do like a college Wednesday shirt. We have a Thursday where we do different activities. And usually Fridays, we leave it as a family fun night and we put different activities that you can do. And we always ask for families to take pictures. If you send those pictures to us, what we'll do is we'll post them when we do our weekly video. And then you'll be able to see your family interacting and then sharing that with other families in the community. For the Wizards of the Week, and we have shout outs, one of the things that we do want to do to recognize the behavior and how well the kids are doing is we're going to do shout outs. So your child's teacher will be recommending kids and we'll do shout outs and we'll recognize their good behavior. We're also going to continue with Wizard of the Week. So the way we did it last year is that teachers would recommend, and we would pick different teachers. Every week it would be a different teacher. And they give us names of students who've done very well in the classroom. And this is based on, whether it's participation, whether it's they did something well, or the teacher saw something that they liked. And so what they do is they give us those names and we recognize it. And it's always going to be 3 students a week. And we pick them from throughout different grade levels. So we always pick 3. So if that week your child doesn't get it, there's always an opportunity throughout the year to have that. So we always look at those PBIS expectations and just making sure that the kids are meeting them. And so we're trying to find different ways that we can motivate kids to really, participate and provide that attendance and be here with us during the week. One of the things that teachers are going to be looking at is academic recognitions. So what are we doing? So we do have our AR program that are still being done. Please be aware that AR doesn't apply to every grade. This does not apply to our little ones who can't read yet. And for our 7th and 8th grade, they are using the Achieve 3000 program as part of their foundation for recognition. So this applies to only specific grade levels. The Achieve 3000 as well applies to mostly 3rd grade and up. And that's what they're looking at. And it's not necessarily the highest kid. They're looking at kids who are making progress, and they continue to make progress, and they make an effort. That's what we're looking at. For our little ones, for the big kids, we have Achieve 3000. For our little ones, kinder, first to second, we have a program called Smarty-Ants. And the same thing, we're looking at progress and the work and the time, because one of the things that we do is we always look at our data. We look to see how many kids have put in the effort and actually met their minutes that we're asking for them to do during the week. And then there's always going to be other classroom accomplishments. The teacher might not recognize this. They might see something else that they want us to recognize the kids for academically, whether it's math, whether it's benchmark, whether it's iReady. But the teachers will have something that they want us to look at, and we'll take those ideas and those names, and that's what we will recognize the kids for. So one of the things that we're going to do for incentives is we will be mailing home certificates. One of the things that we will do is we will be mailing home certificates. So for incentives, we will send home a certificate with little prizes included. The other thing is that if your child is selected as a Wizard of the Week, we will be doing a monthly raffle. So we'll be picking out a couple of names from the names of the kids who were selected for that month, and they'll be getting a little gift basket or something, and they'll have little goodies, school supplies, something in there to really, make it worth their time, because we will be asking them to come by and pick them up here at school. For some of the grades, and this doesn't apply to everybody, it's going to be mostly upper grades, they'll be giving 5 extra points for extra credit. The no homework pass as well is something that, depending on the teacher, they will be giving out, and we'll make sure we let you know what teachers are accepting it. So for the no homework pass, it doesn't apply necessarily to the little ones. It's mostly for the upper grades. We'll also be doing a Zoom lunch and game with Dr. Madrigal, with me. We'll be doing a Zoom dance party. So we'll be, kicking up our shoes and doing some dancing with our kids on Go Noodle. And then we'll be doing also offering Zoom lunch with a teacher and a friend. We'll be looking at some gift cards, and then we'll be looking at other surprises. So a lot of these incentives were based on a survey that we sent out, in which the PTSA will be helping and providing support with. So these are where we got a lot of our ideas. The gift cards are not part of PTSA. That's more going to be part of the office, and we'll try to support that whichever way we can. So what we're doing, we know that we can do it. We know that all our kids are here with us. We're hoping to have the best attendance that we can. We know we're all trying, and we know that we're all being patient just to be able to support each other. If you have any questions, give us a call. The phone number is right there. My email is right there also. And then the Remind account, if you're getting from K Franco-Madrigal, that is me. You can also connect with us at Cortez ELE. Thank you, and have a good night.